The Porsche Ginetta incident earlier on.
I'm surprised in two fronts. One is that they've only done refuelling on that car, although clearly with green flag pit stops, that pit stop costs you more time.
Yes.
So you can kind of compensate there. The other surprise is it's coming as early as it has. Now, okay, we're an hour and 20 minutes into this race, 24 laps completed, but of those 24 laps, 10 of them were behind the safety car.
Let's head back to the pit lane. Grant, what do you have for us?
You saw the 51 car come in and have some work done on it. Garth Walton's with us at the moment. Garth, the car felt okay to you, but a problem?
Yeah, we just had to come in for a pit stop after the first restart. There was a bit of contact between myself and a Porsche on the pit straight, and the car was okay the first few laps. The second safety car, we swapped drivers, and Andrew's just complaining I was pulling a little bit to the right, so just want to come in and check everything and make an adjustment and send him back out. Hopefully it's all good.
If it's pulling to the right, obviously you're going to get massive tyre wear on the right rear, which is something you don't want here at this place.
No, exactly. We don't want that at all. So nothing looks bent. We just made a little adjustment. Hopefully it fixes up. We'll press on for the rest of the day.
Thanks, Garth.
No worries. Thank you.
Bordeaux down there with Garth Walton, very experienced campaigner here at Mount Panorama. Following Bathurst 12 out, a couple of starts to his credit. Here's the Trofeo Motorsport Chevy Corvette. This car has been very fast all weekend, especially with Bathurst legend Greg Murphy behind the wheel, but a big crash in qualifying one yesterday. Saw it in the wall up at Falcon Tyres elbow. Quite substantial damage, but this is a well-resourced team and they've been able to get that car back together. Still able to qualify 11th Murph with a 2:08.6. And of course, former F1 star Ivan Capelli and Jim Manolis sharing the driving duties. More from pit lane, ex-F1 driver Mika Salo with Shay Adam.
Mika Salo, that was your first stint on the mountain. What was it like?
It was easier now because I had no traffic. I was on the front, so I could lap my own. And now I know the circuit, finally, so now I'm okay for the rest of the race.
You had a little bit of contact with the car fairly early on. What happened there?
Now, we were fighting for lead, with I think it was late in the car, and I could see he had the brake and had to go on the left on the Porsche, and I decided to go on the right, and because I guess he saw Slade first, and he started pulling on the right, and I had nowhere to go, so he squeezed me between the wall and himself, and our car's fine. It felt okay. I was just a bit worried after that coming first time down the hill on a full speed if something falls off the car, but it feels fine.
You have 50 extra kilograms in the car. How much of a difference has that made?
I don't know. It definitely doesn't help. So it would be a little bit easier if there was no weight on it, but it was our own stupidity to get the 50 kilos, so we have to pay for it.
Great first stint. Good luck with your second.
Thank you.
Peter Edwards has taken that car over, and you'll remember we talked about that car not getting any tyres, never mind the right side tyres, which are nicely white-walled after the coming together with the wall going up the cutting, and you've got some more information.
Yeah, I got a secret team insider down there at Maranello. I just got a sneaky text message from him or her. I'm not going to say either. I don't want to give the game away, but they're going to double stint tyres all day. They're very comfortable with the working life of their Michelins over the course of this race, that they can get through double stinting tyres all day, and that just saves them a little bit more precious time in a pit stop. Remember, you can only refuel or change tyres. You cannot do them both at the same time. You can do them in the same pit stop,
yes,
but one has to be after the other and refueling first. So that is a crucial thing. That could save them over the course of the day, assuming we're going to run green for the rest of the day, which we won't, but that could save them 3 or 4 minutes in total pit stop time. Paul pointed out before, there's a black flag being shown at the start and finish straight. We can't actually see what the number is at this stage. Anyway, Class D Ford in pit lane. So first of what will be many stops for fuel, John. They're not particularly economical, the big Aussie V8s.
The Liquid Moly BMW just sliding by the number 71 Audi there as they came down. It's the Equity One mortgage fund car. So that Liquid Moly car that we were seeing has not looked really in its element this weekend. Very quick down the tubes though. Very, very quick indeed on the straights.
Sounds cool. So that's the first time we've seen the Z4 GT3 in Australia. We've not had one race here before.
Astounding.
And there are a lot of BMW fans. BMW has a wonderful tradition at this place, dating back right through late 70s and especially 80s, with the very famous JPS BMWs that Frank Gardner prepared. Jim Richards drove them. They never cracked it for a Bathurst win until the Super Touring era in 1997. This is the Class I3 Invitational Battle. The New Zealand Shower Shop Subaru WRX STI. Stu Owers, Lewis Scott and Tony Burrows behind the wheel. These guys with plenty of endurance racing experience over at Hampton Downs in the 12-hour race there, amongst others. Great to see the Kiwi connection here in the Liqui 12-hour. And behind them, Rick Shaw just coming up to pass them as well. But Paul Trustwell's been doing some maths on our leading cars, and Paul, you've noticed something about the Australian Erebus Motorsport Merc.
What I don't quite understand is why the Tim Slade 63 car is able to consistently lap faster than the 36 car. Whether that's something that they've done with the setup of the car, or whether it's something else just to do with driver familiarisation with the circuit, I don't know. But that gap, remember I mentioned a while ago, it was hovering around the 8-9 second mark. It is now up to 16 seconds, so that's gone up.
And a problem for the 81 Audi that spun at the bottom of the chase. It is the chase, that, isn't it? Yeah. That's it.
Eric was driving that car.
He's just been making up positions as well, guys. Dropped back into 11th. He was up into the top 7 at one stage.
That's got a tyre deflated on the left rear corner of that LMS Ultra. Here's a replay. So watch the Audi. Big moment. Tyre goes. Huge moment through the chase. 270 odd k's an hour, and watch it surf out the other side and just missed by the Porsche. That is a wild moment at the fastest part of Mount Panorama. Here it is from the Porsche. There goes the Audi, spinning, and then just across in front. Fortunately, Lux is able to limp the number 81 car that's joining us all the way from the US of A.
It's the 88 car that's gone around, and that, I'm afraid, is Peter Edwards, who has made the mistake in the Il Bello Rosso Iveco camouflage machine. He snags first gear, difficult to do if you stall the engine with the sequential boxes. Now gets it up into second and gets back underway.
That's the leader just behind them. They're about to go a lap down. So here's a look. Is this the same as what happened with the Mosler? It's not, because he was passing the Audi. So they were dicing. He just went in too hot and did a complete 360. But at the end of this shot, you'll see a very quick glimpse of the Erebus Motorsport, the purple Porsche Rita, they're calling it, coming out of turn 1 and looming up behind to put Peter Edwards a lap down.
Meanwhile, just coming into the pits has been the number 15 BMW that we've been talking about. I don't mean the 15 BMW, no, the 16 BMW, sorry, the Christian Paulson driven car. That was having its first pit stop, and that's an hour and 50 minutes very nearly into the race. So that BMW, maybe a bit of a handful, maybe not performing as well, but they're getting quite good fuel economy out of it. As I say, they've just made its first pit stop.
It's a lot of smoke from the front of the 16 BMW, the Z4 in there. As I think that was just a bit of brake smoke. There was some consternation for a moment as in comes the number 9 Audi, the Network Clothing holdback car.
Paulson jumping out of the Liqui BMW, and a driver change underway. There's a good look inside the number 16 car. It's an unbelievable looking thing, this. It is just one of the wildest examples of what a GT3 car can possibly be.
One of our great friends at RadioLeMans.com did a livery for the Saudi Falcons in the Dubai 24, and I have to say I'm not the biggest fan of that shape of BMW, and Jim Roller and I were talking about it during the race. There is the O'Donnell Dippy and O'Donnell Porsche. Classic set of colours, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the Scale Extrix, that's the slot car.
Sensational. I'm sure it's an intentional homage to what we've seen in the past. All crew over the red line except the car controller for when they release it from pit lane. I wanted to give a shout out. We saw a brief shot of it just before of the Rod Salmon, Warren Luff, Craig Lowndes Audi. Arguably the fans' favourite from Australian point of view, thanks to one C. Lowndes doing the driving. But Rod Salmon has done a very good job keeping that car just consistent and with track position so far. He's up to 8th place, just did a 15.7, best lap of a 13.2, but he's done a double stint to start this race.
The BMW that has just gone back out of the pits, there's been contact, and the Z4, the Liqui Moly sponsored machine, the Team Engsler car, has gone and dropped it somewhere. I have a feeling it was pushed rather than jumped there, because I just saw a quick flash of another car moving slowly.
Replay, top of Mount Panorama.
Oh, loses it on his own.
Oh, wow. Clearwater Ferrari just in behind.
That's exactly what happened to Chris Porritt yesterday, and he caught it.
That's awkward. That's hard to watch.
If you look up the term tank slapper in the racing dictionary, that bit of video absolutely describes it. Got a little bit loose coming over the top at the park there on the right hand side. The back wheels just starting to slide, and from then on the pendulum effect, there was no coming back from there. And a
Safety car. Let's run through the standings for you. Mercedes 1 and 2. Audi looking strong for Phoenix Racing, and then that Porsche just continuing to circulate with Shane van Gisbergen now behind the wheel. A couple of Ferraris looking strong. Mok Wen-sung behind the wheel of the Clearwater car. Your class leaders, the Class B Porsche, thanks to pedigree, going